This is SpursX11 and this is the final selection of my 2014 FIFA World Cup. These are the players I'll be taking to Manaus in Brazil, and if you guys know what the Manaus, Brazil is, it's the jungle. So sounds a bit frightening. It's a must win then. Anyway, I mean, just to pre-warn you guys, this is the players I've chosen. I mean, some of the players I've chosen were actually created players, so don't worry. It's just some of the players that I told you about before I started the final selection, and because, I want to choose the created players, because the players, that some of the players we took to the World Cup were absolutely rubbish. And this is one thing I want to say in this video. I will be doing some Captain Your Country, Story of Qualifying. I want to, I'll also do some skill games. I might spend some time in the practice area as well. I might do Story of the Finals as well. I might do some of this. I got a suggestion from my little brother saying I should do this one as well. I will do it, but let me just get the FIFA World Cup, Brazil 2014 out of the way first, so I can get this out of the way. And if you guys want me to do more of that, just leave some suggestions on which team you want me to take to the finals. I mean, if it's a small team like, for example, like Sierra Leone or Angola or whatever, yeah, just leave some suggestions. And this is one thing I want to show you that I think you should know. When you start the FIFA World Cup 2014 Brazil tournament, you have these EA Sports Talk Radio options. You can select radio. You have Andy Goldstein and Ian Dark, which is FM 89.9. You have 94.5, the Men in Blazers FM. You have the tracks, which is 106.7 FM, which is just the music from the the game, the soundtrack. Select the audio channel you would like to listen to while navigating the menu. We suggest Andy Goldstein and Ian Dyke or Men in Blazers, who will discuss your performance as you progress through the mode. My biggest suggestion, I wouldn't choose them. I wouldn't choose that. I wouldn't choose them because those people are boring as hell. But I would choose these two. I mean, they talk about different topics. They talk about, the beach and the stuff. I mean, they're both funny. They are. They're interesting to talk to. They're interesting to talk about. I mean, they're more interesting to listen to. Like, it's funny. I mean, I like listening to those two. But anyway, it's your decision. You can choose which ones you want to choose. I'm not gonna talk in the next 10 minutes of the video. So, I'll just see you guys. I'll just talk, in the next video, if you guys know what I mean. But, I'll just leave an animation saying what I meant. So, yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys on the other side. It's up to you. You can choose which one you want to choose. I mean, it's up to you from here on in. If you guys don't know how to play the game, I will show you how to play the game. You can choose your own settings on the control panel. I'll show you how to do that. But I'll see you guys on the other side.
EA Sports Talk Radio.
He's there! Oh, what a priceless goal!
Live from Rio de Janeiro with Andy Goldstein and Ian Dark.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to us here at EA Sports Radio with me, Andy Goldstein, alongside me, as he will be for the next 4 weeks, Ian Dark. The waiting, Ian, is now over. You and I are very, very excited about the prospect of the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Everywhere you look, it's like the tournament is 2 weeks old. Everyone excited, everyone wanting, of course, because we're over here now in Rio, Brazil, to go all the way to the final and win it. But not just win it with a bit of style, a bit of passion and a bit of flair. It's an amazing tournament. I feel honoured to be over here.
Yeah, I think it's a privilege and a pleasure to cover any World Cup. The magnitude of this is absolutely enormous, and all that pressure on Brazil and the Brazilian players and on Scolari to deliver the trophy. The nation expects it, especially after what happened a year ago in the Confederations Cup when they were way too good for the reigning champions, Spain. The fans here expect the same thing to happen again. Now, whether it will is part of the story you and I are going to tell over the next month or so.
Is it the right place for a football World Cup? Can you think of it? Now, you and I have been here, we've been about 5 or 6 hours. Of course, I'm more fresher than you as I was in business and you were in economy.
I don't know how you got away with that.
Not my fault, that was a mix-up back at the other end. But nevertheless,
it was a nice smile, wasn't it? A nice smile in the right direction.
You should have seen his face when I told him. We've been here about 5 or 6 hours now, and you and I have had time to soak up the atmosphere as much as we can. This is the right place for a World Cup, isn't it?
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly. I think the whole place is immersed in the game. This is the home of the 5 times winners of the World Cup, and by the time this thing's finished, they expect to make it 6 times, but there are 31 other nations here with other ideas.
Right, Ian, let's get your opinion on one of the team's chances of going all the way. So, Ian, what do you make of England's chances then?
Well, I think it's going to be quarterfinals minimum. We'd like to think that England might do rather better than that, but there's been so much doom and gloom surrounding this team for so long. You know what I hope? I hope that they go there and we can sit and watch them and enjoy the way they play, because that certainly wasn't the case 4 years ago, was it?
No, and when you look at the squad that Roy's taken to this World Cup, you've got, of course, some of the old brigade and some of the young guns as well coming through. Do you think that Roy's going to mix and match them, or do you think he's more likely to play some of the younger players throughout the tournament?
I think the young players who are not affected by the fear factor and the disappointments of the past, they're vital, I think, to freshen up the side. You know, the likes of Daniel Sturridge, Jack Wilshere, who are new to the World Cup. I think those are vital components, but I'd love to see a competition where Rooney really looks like the world-class player a lot of people have been saying he is all these years. I mean, he was part of that so-called golden generation that proved not to be a golden generation. Well, he's got one last chance, hasn't he, here?
And you say only the last day, which I sort of agree with you. I can't act it as much as I want them to go further. Of course I do in the competition. I can't see it, but maybe with Lady Luck on this side, it's all about knockout football now.
Well, Roy Hodgson, I think, takes a pretty pragmatic approach to matches, so I don't think they're going to make a lot of mistakes in games. I expect them to come out and give a lot of solid performances, but, you know, you think back to the Euros where it was too cautious. They've got to, at some point, I think, you know, roll the dice a little bit, show some adventure, even be a little bit cavalier. I'd like to see that at times. I'd like to see them excite, wouldn't you?
I'd love it. Interesting thoughts, interesting views from a very interesting man. And don't go anywhere, loads coming up right here on the wonderful EA Sports Radio.
All the passion. All the action. All the heartache.
Oh, what a catastrophe!
EA Sports Talk Radio with Andy Goldstein and Ian Dark.
When you look at the Dutch side, I think it's fair to say the one player that jumps out the page, certainly from a goal-scoring point of view, is Robin van Persie. How important is it for their push that he stays fit and, more importantly, keeps scoring goals?
Yeah, and how fresh he's going to be off the back of a Premier League season with Manchester United when he gets to the World Cup. I think he's developed, hasn't he, into a much more mature player than when he, in his early days with Arsenal, when there were, you know, one or two things going on around him, it seemed, and his fitness record was a little bit patchy. But he's become a terrific goal scorer, season in, season out in the Premier League. And I mean, if he is in the mood and Holland are in the mood, anything could happen, really. And Van Persie, they've got a guy, I mean, he's just so ruthless and clinical around goal. I mean, I don't know, do you think he's of the level that could win a World Cup for Holland?
I think he's in a team with other outstanding players, and I think if they use him correctly, as Manchester United have done in recent times, and by that I mean using him to take free kicks and corners, because his delivery of the ball with that left foot is just awesome. And I think he could be a real danger, not necessarily from the point of view of scoring goals, but also delivering the ball.
And he's now, of course, the all-time top goal scorer for Holland.
We're going to have a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be finding out just why Ian Darke decided to wear a woolly, thick jumper to this year's World Cup. See you in a second. Sao Paulo, Brazil, the